And today's another episode of Tell Your Story. Oh, that sounds like a soap opera, doesn't it? It sounds so dramatic as we talk about inclusion, diversity, and safe spaces in tech. Yay! So I have two people from ThoughtWorks. They're sponsoring, they're sponsors here at the Strange Loop conference. And so if you could please, I'm going to get closer to you. So don't look weird. It's going to look weird, but I just want to make sure, get closer a bit. And if you can say your names.
Hey, I'm MJ. And?
I'm Jared.
Okay, and so okay, so this is all about testing stuff out. So I'm going to turn this sideways. This works so much better. Okay, so you guys know I'm weird, so it's all kind of. So I want to know why, tell me about ThoughtWorks. I have my opinions about ThoughtWorks, and I've always had great experiences with ThoughtWorks, but I want to hear from people who actually work at ThoughtWorks.
Cool. So I'll start with what we do and then talk a little bit more about what I feel and love about ThoughtWorks. So as a company, we really try to go solve problems and partner with other people in getting them to get, better and more advanced with technology. So the way we've built our business model is really like a consulting firm. So we go out, we meet people, we get to know what it is that makes their company and their business unique, and then try to help them get ahead and actually innovate and revolutionize in using technology. And of course, the thing that I love in our mission is we always, no matter what it is we're doing, are striving for social and economic justice. And we try to always ensure that businesses think about this, especially, and a lot of times it's easy to happen. Everybody gets caught up in money and other things, and you're always trying to compete with other people. But I feel having people like us come and work with you helps bring perspective and helps you kind of take a step back and try to do the best you can with technology, but also ensuring you're leaving the world a better place.
Oh, okay. My heart just skipped. Okay, Jared, give us your perspective.
My perspective of ThoughtWorks, we've been around for 25 years. A lot of people
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people are unaware because we've flown under the radar for so long, and we've always kind of been known as the original adopters of Agile, right? I mean, Martin Fowler was one of the original signatories of the manifesto, and
okay.
kind of propelled us into being leaders in the digital age.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because I've actually now this is the second person or some representative of a person from the manifesto that I've interviewed because I interviewed Kent Beck as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm going down the manifesto. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So if anybody online is interested in seeing Kent Beck speak, if you're in San Francisco on Thursday, right? Thursday is also Grace Hopper, so we're actually, MJ is going to be at Grace Hopper, but I'm going to be in San Francisco hosting Kent Beck for a talk in our San Francisco office.
Cool.
So
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, super nifty. So he's going to be talking about 3X. People can Google the landing page and RSVP there. But yeah, the Agile Manifesto really kind of helped us solidify ourselves as leaders in the industry, and then when that became more normal in the industry, we kind of worked on exploring our capabilities. So Martin and Kent were talking about TDD and extreme programming.
Then comes like continuous integration, continuous delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been amazing is I think we've been very fortunate to bring together these smart people that are always keeping an eye on what is next in terms of technology for sustainable business digital spaces. So it's not just about, one and done. What are these trends that can actually help software stay and be reliable and actually keep growing and can keep innovating and stuff like that. So along those lines, I think we were great. Like we jumped on continuous integration, continuous delivery. We actually built our own product, GoCD. It's amazing. Best tool for continuous delivery. And actually,
just a little plug there, guys.
No, and in all fairness, in my whole career, I've always used other tools, and I always come back and think like, wow, it was like 10 years ahead of its time. I
wow.
feel. Mm-hmm. But those trends still now are continuing into like investment into AR/VR. investment into really understanding medical technologies and things like that, which is actually how I ended up in ThoughtWorks. So my background is in bioinformatics, and I hadn't programmed or written like production code ever, and I happened to meet these people from ThoughtWorks that were like, you have this domain knowledge and understanding that is really needed for the way the industry, like one, and there's definitely so much application in the world with genetics getting better and more, useful for more targeted medicining, especially around cancer and things like that. And that's kind of why I was brought into ThoughtWorks, and everything I know as a developer, I've learned on the job.
That speaks to why we're here. When people talk about inclusion and diversity, they often stop at gender and race. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's so much more than that. It's about having various perspectives at the table to help solve problems and to create products and services that a global market can appreciate and use. And so having a unique background in bioinformatics, and for a company to recognize that and see it and bring it in and then develop you as a developer, mm-hmm. It's what we're talking about. So now, because of your background, you can help them get clients that they couldn't get before, or service clients better that they couldn't get. And that's what it's all about. It's about how do we create better products and services for a global market, for us to solve problems that matter to people. So what's your background, Jared?
My background, I went to an alternative high school in the middle of the woods, and through that found, I was building a campfire every day and reading Dostoevsky and studying philosophy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh God, this is really crazy. So I was like, I found solace in art, pursued an art education, and was a blogger for a while. I was an editor for a blog that's now owned by Vox Media. And found ThoughtWorks through that path. A few of my friends, my high guys in Chicago, were ThoughtWorkers, and one ThoughtWorker introduced me to another ThoughtWorker, and they introduced me to another ThoughtWorker, and I was kind of like, what is this crazy organization? The more I learned about it, the more interested I was. So my background is really kind of in content and experience and visual. I came to ThoughtWorks, and we didn't really, I feel like this is the path of many ThoughtWorkers, we didn't really know what my position was going to be.
Just like tech.
until we kind of experimented and iterated, and I was in New York at this time. I now live in San Francisco, and we kind of, my role ended up being kind of culture support, right? And instigator, I guess, culture instigator. So that's my background, and I think how it influenced what I do at ThoughtWorks now.
Something tells me as I'm looking at this, because I started this portrait, that when I finish, you guys are going to be sideways on the thing, but that's okay, because that's just exactly. Because I'm just thinking about this because I've done this before and it did not but you know what, guys, I'm quirky like that, so I like it. It's good. We'll go with it. So because I love the fact, because I do also a workshop called Taming the Wild West, mm-hmm. which is because helping people transition into tech, because tech is there is no path. It's like you make it up as you go, and so it's so disconcerting for some people, but for me it's liberating, because it's like, well, if there's no path, I can create my own path. And I know a lot of people that's very disconcerting, but I mean, ThoughtWorks demonstrated that by bringing you in for whatever reason, but did not know exactly what you were going to be able to do, right. And then through experimentation figured out where you fit in the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's so counterintuitive to how most people hire.
We do specifically look for devs and data scientists and folks that have very specific skill sets, but it doesn't mean that we can't look outside of those bounds. For instance, last year, I would say everybody at ThoughtWorks is a polyglot, if not an extreme polyglot of some sorts. For instance, last year in New York, we even hired a former circus performer.
And what was their thing? act. I guess that's what you would call it.
Oh,
Well, it
and
was
then
contemporary circus, actually. So he studied on a Fulbright scholarship all throughout
Oh,
Europe,
brilliant
you know.
already, yeah.
Yes, about contemporary circus. And in contemporary circus, rather than traditional circus, this fits really well in with how we pair and how we work and the agile methodology. In contemporary circus, there's one ringmaster saying, okay, now the tigers, now the bears, now the acrobats. But in contemporary circus, you rely on your team members to hand off the mic or to hand off the spotlight, and you support each other.
It sounds so
in
much
your
like
performance.
improv.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, we hire folks of all backgrounds, and I think it really helps make up the whole.
So tell us why, and it's getting a little loud in here, guys. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer, but tell us why ThoughtWorks is sponsoring Strange Loop.
Well, we
Hold on just a second. Yeah, it got really loud, and okay, I think we're fine. Okay, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. ThoughtWorks is here, I guess, for a few different reasons. We want to deepen our relationship with the community. We want to support our own folks. We have a lot of ThoughtWorkers that are here, 20 some odd ThoughtWorkers and former ThoughtWorkers.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of us even using like our conference budget. So yes, there's part of it that people came to, help and make sure we're getting our name out there and getting to know more people. But a lot of others came just, to learn.
Right.
And so I'm here using so we give everybody a conference budget every year, which is now getting more common in a lot of companies. But it's been great. So you get to choose where you want to go. And for me, I'm here really to learn because I found, like Alex was even saying, I've been coming here since 2010, I'm going to say. I got to talk once in 2012. Not got to talk. I applied to talk once, and it was great. But this conference, I feel, always tries to keep it very current and future oriented, and there's just so much to learn every time. And the diversity that they brought in, and I know it's such a cliche, but somehow here it's not the first thing that hits you. It's normal. Like it's great to look around. There's women, there's men, there's people.
Transgender. There's everybody. There's
everybody. And
races. There's people with disabilities. There's everything.
Everything.
And it's normal. And that's what this podcast is about. This needs to be normalized. Yeah. It shouldn't be. Oh wow! When you see somebody, it's like you just stop and stare because you've never seen that before. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel it's been getting better and better, and has been a great thing that has inspired, I feel, a lot of other conferences. So actually, Alex used to run even like the Closure ones.
Yeah, he
I'm
ran.
a big Alex.
Yeah, well, I spoke at both Closure Conf and Closure West, so that I have a yeah.
But yeah, I think in general, this has been a great place for us to come and, of course, like get to know more people, build our our network. But it's a great place to learn. I feel. The people they bring in and the talks that they have, but also keeping it real with trying to make sure the industry is looking and growing and getting better, both as who we are and then also what we're doing. It's been a great place.
Yeah, we feel that this is a great conference to hire from and like you said, expand our network. We've also got 2 ThoughtWorkers that flew over from one of our China offices to give a talk on deep learning.
And it was they basically have a neural network library that they are building and using called you should know the name. It's in Scala. But the name of the talk was Monadic Deep Learning that happened yesterday.
Okay. Wow.
What else? Oh, we built a tech radar here. We crowdsourced a technology radar for Strange Loop. So if you're familiar, twice a year-ish, we come out with the ThoughtWorks Technology Radar, which is our thoughts and opinions that we treat as a snapshot of the industry. Being a global tech consultancy, we
see a lot of things.
We do, yes, and clients of all scales. And last year, what we do with all of that data is we map it out in bullseye form and print it. We publish it. It's a free document for anybody to download. Sometimes it gets a billboard in Times Square. It's a pretty popular thing. Accounts for more than half of the web traffic on website when we launch it.
Okay, I definitely have to get that to add to it when I put it as a blog post.
Yeah.
Okay.
We knew that the radar was super popular. It's been going on we've been creating it for years. We're on volume 16 right now. And last year, Neil Ford, one of our top scientists, was like, hey Rebecca, our CTO Rebecca Parsons, why don't we open source this tool? And so we did. We open sourced the tool. So now all you have to do at your own organization is talk about what techniques, tools, platforms, languages, and frameworks you are working on or not wanting to work with, or thinking about working with, and map them out as we do in our own exercise. Put it through the tool, and you get a digital output or a clickable PDF. So we've done that exercise here at the conference, and we're sending all of the folks that we've interacted with the digital PDF, the output. So it's kind of like it's the zeitgeist of the conference.
And the goal is to help us always keep leveling up and learning.
I was going to say, because you have access to data that you didn't have before. And it helps you do a better job at what you're doing, because now you have ThoughtWorks information, but now you're getting other companies and who they're connecting with, what tools they use, and so that's will help you thought work as you go out. Okay.
And the community can learn from each other around.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
We have brilliant people here. We don't get to talk to all of them. This is one way to kind of see, they're using Elixir.
And how are they using it?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What are the pros and cons? And you have a conversation around it, which really helps you think like, okay, let's level up on this. That makes sense. Let's try something new. Or maybe we really shouldn't be using an old version of Jenkins and try new Jenkins or whatever it is that you've been doing, but you know that if it's getting too old and you need to start upgrading your technologies.
Cool. Well, in our final moments, what personally we talked a lot about ThoughtWorks. I want to know what your personal takes on diversity and inclusion in tech and so.
Yeah, it's a topic that's top of mind for me, of course. I get to go to different clients, and everywhere you go, you learn a lot from what things are and the state of affairs. And I will say, I found there's been a lot of energy and a lot of positive movement towards recruiting and thinking about diversity at that level. Where I feel we can get going further and further is that inclusivity aspect once people are joining companies and joining organizations. And the biggest thing for me that I always think about is I feel the definition of success is still what it used to be. It's not, and what I would hope us trying to do is actually changing that and making it relevant to the group we actually have at hand. What it means to succeed, I feel can use a little bit of an overhaul.
They're quite interesting. All right, and you?
What it means to be diverse.
Just your personal take on inclusion and diversity in tech.
I always use this example of not being able to see the other side until you get there, and empathy in situations. So, in all possible instances, I try to place myself in someone else's shoes and see the other side and be on that other side to get the most complete picture. But I think that, if I were to super boil it down, there was a great quote that kind of circulates inside of ThoughtWorks at times, where we talk about diversity as being invited to the dance, and inclusivity as being asked to dance. So engagement and pairing and socialization is super important. So.
Well, thank you guys very much for taking the time to talk to us and tell your stories.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.